Alright guys, what up? It is Ryan here. Welcome back to Ryan Balsman Fishing. And today we're going to be going over my glide bait collection and the ones that I have so far. I plan to add a bunch this year if I can, especially some clashes. I really want to get some Clash 9, some of the minis, and play around with those this year. But for now, this is what we're working with. So starting it off, we have one of the 6 Sense flow glides in more of a natural shad pattern. Nice bait for getting into it because you don't need special gear. You can throw this bait on your jigging rod and be just fine. And doesn't take a crazy big fish to eat this. 1.5 pound fish will eat this, and you're gonna get little like 1-pounders that will attempt to eat it and get hooked. So the paint scheme is really good. The hooks that come on it are really nice, and you can modify them if you're in a spot where these things get absolutely hammered and you want them to get more of that glide action, because these ones right now, they tend to just kind of dart to the sides. Unless you really know how to work them, then you'll get them going back and forth. But if you want that perfect, like almost that 180, you can take a Dremel and cut into the sides of this where it can open more, and you're going to get that beautiful glide action that you look for. The next one is going to be, let me untangle it. This is the first glide bait I ever got. I don't throw it very much anymore. It just kind of sits in my box in case I ever need it. But this is like the original XPS glide bait. That's what they look like. The hooks on it are, they'll hook something. You're not going to, you know how sometimes you have the little guys come up and nip it? That's probably, you're not going to get one on these like that because the hooks are so dull. And apparently this one's bent out, but yeah, I don't got much to say. Then I got these two Shine Glides. These are two very slightly different colors. The tails are different colors as well, but the bodies are, it's almost, can't even really tell on camera. But I like these glide baits for, like, it's kind of cold, or it's early in the morning and you're getting that reaction bite. These things are great because if you look at these compared to your standard glide bait, they're not going to open up as far. So a glide bait like this, you're going to have this beautiful walking action. Something like this, it's harder to achieve that action. You can, and I do with these because they are a thinner profile, so sometimes you need them to get the bites. But this one, instead of your like half reels that you make to get that bait to go back and forth, you're gonna chop it and you'll just and then the bait kind of will glide to the side. Then you do it again and it's gonna cut, and it's that choppy motion that those fish will just react and hammer on. The next ones that I have for you guys, and all the baits that I just showed, I recommend highly for beginner baits. They're going to range between $20 and $25, including these XPS ones that I'm about to pull out. The next ones I have are these XPS glides. These are 7 1/4 inches, and they come in about 3 ounces. This is the bluegill pattern one that they make, and then this is the shad pattern one. Comes with like a metallic green-blue top. So the paint jobs on these things aren't terrible at all, and neither are the hooks. The only problem that I've noticed, and you can see that it happened on this one, is that when they're if they sit in your car, because I'll leave my glide bait box locked in my truck when I go to school and then go fishing after, and the tails do like to melt. They come with extras, but I've melted an extra, and I think I've melted 2 of the extras. But they're a bigger glide bait as you get into it, and they're not super crazy expensive. The next cheap one that I'm going to show is, I don't have too much experience, so I can't really say. I threw this thing one time, and it is the new XPS wake bait that they make. This is also 7 1/4 inches. It comes in at like 3.5 ounces. Nice big lip. When I threw it, it had a great action, and it had a really nice knock to it. I really like this bluegill color pattern because a lot of these ponds that I fish that have big fish in them don't tend to have shad. So throwing bluegill patterns is always a nice thing to do to try to draw those bites. So I'm hoping to get some fish on this thing this summer. I shouldn't snap it off because it's top water, but I better knock on wood because I will manage to snap it off. But that's a neat bait that I get to throw around some. The next bait, working up the list to these last two baits, or not, it's not the last two, but the last two glide baits that I'm going to show you. These two tend to be more expensive. They're 40 each. Like I said, I'm hoping to get some of the ones that are in the $100, $120, $130 range this summer, but right now we're balling on a budget, and these ones are still super nice glide baits. These are custom paints by Council Bluff Crankbaits. He's down in Bull Shoals area. I got to meet the guy, super nice dude, super, like, some crazy paint schemes that he does in some of these baits. But this is one that he did, and this is in a threadfin shad pattern. So I like to throw this down at Lake of the Ozarks, Table Rock, places like that. It's your fantail, and it's almost clear on the bottom down here, but he did super accurate paint job. Little details all around the eyes. I don't know if you can see on the camera, are super detailed, but he did a great job with these. This one has a super nice knock to it. I haven't got a ton of experience throwing that one around. I threw it a little bit a couple weeks ago, but didn't get any love on it. The next one that he did for me is this one, and the only problem with it is I bought a slow sink, which is scary for a glide bait. I'd much rather have a float and then wire weight it if I need it, but I bought it from him at a booth, so can't really complain. He does this insanely detailed bluegill pattern, and the camera doesn't even do it justice how well he does on this pattern. But I threw this around the other day. It was too weedy in the pond I was in to get anything, but man, it has a great action. Even trying to like pull it through weeds. This glide bait's only about 6 inches, but it weighs like 3 ounces. Even pulling it through the weeds, and it gets snagged, and then you have to chop it off the weeds, it's still had a gorgeous action. So I definitely recommend going and checking him out if you're trying to get into those middle range glide baits, middle range price wise glide baits, and have some fun with them because they are super neat baits. And I throw that on my Cashin rod. It's a 710 heavy setup with the KVD Lose speed spool, and I love this reel. It's a 911. So this is my jigging and my glide bait rod. You kind of have to be careful with it when you're throwing glide baits because it's such a fast action reel. But other than that, I have no issues with it. Coming up next are the swim baits. The first swim bait I have, and this is just a pre-rig. I mean, you do not have to throw it like this by any means, but I do like throwing them. The sparkle shads. I like to throw mine on an underspin pattern, and this one's in their sexy shad. I don't actually remember what color that is. It's a natural shad pattern, but they have a great action. They're not crazy big, so you're still going to get bites on them, opposed to maybe some of the big glide baits. You're going to go out and have a day that you're just not going to get any love on it, but yeah, you'll definitely get love on that thing. Next one is going to be, these ones are a little bit dirty, but these Bass Mafia swim baits. This one's in a French pearl. Super neat action. I need to get some hooks for these ones. They're going to fit on a little bit better, but neat. This is actually a really good bed fishing color. And the next one that you have to rig yourself are these 6th Sense. What are these ones? Don't even remember. The 6th Sense swim baits. This pattern, I don't know when I'm going to use it, but I'm sure I'll throw it eventually. It's kind of got a yellow hue to it, but these are super neat glide baits. They come with like real eyes, like you get in on a glide bait, but those are neat swim baits. I'm excited to throw those around this year. Now on to my mag drafts. I throw the 6-inch perch color. We don't really have perch in our area, but this does kind of give off a bass look that they'll tend to chase sometimes. So that's a neat one, and it's a good one for like really clear. So like one of the ponds that I fish it's a crystal clear pond, and it has huge bass in it that eat bluegill and they eat bass. And that's a good bait to throw because they're so used to eating these little bass in there that will draw those fish up and get them to come after it. Next one I have is, again, the 6-inch with this foiled center black and clear. It's just a neat, it gives a shad style pattern, but I love these Bass Mafias because you can go like that where you're going to have the really good hookup ratio, or you can put it in where it's a little bit more weedless. Super great action out of these baits, super fun to throw. This one you're going to for sure be seeing me throw this summer. This guy comes in at about 3 to 4 ounces, and it's in the Sexy Shad. No, it's not Sexy Shad. I don't even remember what this color pattern is. In this shad pattern, and this is the 8-inch. So this guy, compared to the 6-inch version, these look dinky compared to this. So you're definitely going to see me getting out there on kayaks. We go on some family trips. You know, it might be a little bit noisy in the background, but I'll definitely be throwing some stuff like this around, getting them down deep to those fish that are just trying to hang out, and giving them that big meal that they're going to want that'll be a little bit more enticing than if I put, a flow glider in front of them, or I put a small swim bait or something like that in front of them. So you're definitely going to be seeing some videos with all these baits coming very soon. I get out of school in, I think, 7 days. 7 or 8 days. No, 6 days. So, can't wait for that. Can't wait to get fishing. I'm going to fish all summer as much as I can. I'm going to try to post as much as I can for you guys. So, keep fishing. Stay tuned. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Maybe got some information out of it. Peace.